My brothers and sisters, as I was thinking about the conclusion of our Catholic Schools Week, I was reflecting on the fact that our children who live in this community are truly very fortunate when it comes to their education. We have some very good public schools nearby, right in our community. And think of a couple of them: Edna Brewer, Montclair, Thornhill. We have some very good private schools in our community. So they are truly fortunate. You are fortunate as their parents in that you have choices in their education. And the fact that some of you chose to place your children here, Corpus Christi, the fact that you chose to have your children come to learn in a Catholic school environment is a statement. You're saying that you want them to learn all those things that they need to learn in order to be successful in this world, in order for them to have bright futures with opportunities and options. But you're also saying that in order for them to truly be happy, they have to learn what true happiness is. And that's what we try to do here. We try to teach our children, your children, what true happiness is. And it's not that other schools don't do that, but because we are a religious school, we are a Catholic school, we can do it in a way, express it in a way that other educational institutions can't do that. So what is true happiness? Well, Isaiah, in the first reading that you heard this summer shared with us, Isaiah tells us that true happiness is helping the poor, relieving the oppressed, taking care of the hungry, clothing the naked. True happiness is not looking inside. True happiness is not just thinking of my needs. True happiness is looking outside of myself and coming to realize that we have to look at our lives in light of the lives of others. St. Paul, in his letter to the Corinthians, tells us quite explicitly, he says, this is foolish. As the world looks at it, they would say, this is foolish to be concerned with all the overwhelming problems that we face as a world. This is just not a wise thing to do. But then he tells us it's foolish if you exclude God's message of wisdom. So we make sure that our kids, that your children, that our kids who are here, that there is a different wisdom than the wisdom of this world, where some people in this world say some are first and others are not first. We make sure that our kids understand that in order to be true to who they are, true to how they were created, true to how God made them, in order for them to be happy, they have to understand that there are no first, second, third, fourth, but that everyone is first in God's love. And everyone has to be first for them. It's a daunting task that we're asking of our children, your children, because we're asking them to go against cultural norms. We're asking them to be counter-cultural. We're asking them to show and to shine a light on those who live in darkness, to shine a light on what needs to be done in order to make this a better world. So yes, they have all the subjects that children, other schools, other academic environments, but the subject that's most important for us, the subject that permeates the whole day with our children, is the subject of God's love for all of us. We want your children to be happy. We want them to have lives that are fulfilling. We want them to have lives that have purpose and meaning. And we want them to know that there's only one way to do it. And that's by looking at the world and reacting to the needs of our brothers and sisters as Jesus Christ invites us to do. So last Monday, we started our Catholic Schools Week here at the altar. Today, we end our Catholic Schools Week here at the altar. And we do that as our way of acknowledging two truths about ourselves. That Jesus came into the world, he sacrificed his life to say to you and me, we are worth it. And he came into the world and sacrificed his life to say to you and me, I know that you are worth it, but I know that it's hard for you to stay with that truth. So I'm going to leave you so that when you gather around this table, when you eat of my body and drink from the cup of salvation, it'll be a reminder to you that you are worthy, and I'm here to help you to remember that everyone else is also worthy. And it's your task as my disciples to share this good news with the world. You are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. If you trust in me, our Lord is saying, and help each other, that truth can be known and experienced by our world. This is what you're doing when you place your children in a Catholic school. This is a subject that's more important than all the other subjects we teach them, because it's a subject that will help them live their lives as God created them to live their lives. Amen.